So this was like my first fight that I wasn't actually on my cycle during the fight. Yeah, I compete and I fight all the time. It's rough because there's if you've seen all the reels online about like the different cycles and everything, guys don't get it. So there are some days where like everything just hurts way more than it's supposed to. Everything's super sensitive. I'm like, oh, I'm getting crushed right now. I'm extra
then you're getting
fatigued.
hit. Oh, then you're getting hit in the stomach and shit. Yeah.
Everything hurts more than it's supposed to. And I'm trying not to be a baby because all these guys are like, oh, you're a fighter. Oh, you want to train with the guys. And I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do it. Or you're super fatigued and your muscles like don't want to work. So you're just getting taken down and just absolutely murdered. And you're like, well, that's great. I really wanted to add that to my emotions today. Now I'm going to leave really sad. Later.
You hosted or you're hosting one like soon to come?
Host. So I've had 2 already, and then I'm gonna have another one on May 30th.
Okay. Shout out. That's my birthday. But can we get some? Yeah, can we get some more context on this tournament?
Oh, my jiu-jitsu tournament. Well, there's a lot of kind of little details to it. I've got cash brackets, super fights. What's getting the most attention right now is I have a trio bracket. A couple of them, and the guys really like the idea of the teams of there's 3 of them, and they go against each other, and they're going to go out and try to take the brackets out.
Okay, all right. That sounds interesting as hell. Sounds like something I need to check out for sure. Check. The place is here. The time is now. You are tuned into the lunch table. Got your boy Savo in the building. I have another special guest. We're still on the MMA train, so of course this one beats ass for a living. I'm gonna go ahead and let her introduce herself. Can you please take it away?
Yeah, my name is Nina Smith. I just fought on Island Fights. I am from Pensacola, Florida. I train out of Mazu Muay Thai and AMP MMA. I also cross-train at a lot of other gyms that I'm going to be posting about soon. We just took a road trip, so I haven't been on social media enough to do it.
On that road trip, what's some places that you stopped? What's some destinations that you've seen?
Yeah, we went from Pensacola up to Rhode Island. Yeah. And then we spent a day, we drove out to Salem and back, and then we went to Maine. Then we drove over to Michigan, and then we just drove back down to Pensacola. So,
did y'all get any lobster rolls while y'all was up there?
I did try one. I was like, I have to. I mean, it was pretty good. I definitely, I'm a seafood kind of person, but I definitely like trying it once.
Right. Nah, I can dig that. Let's go ahead and hop straight into it because I don't want to waste no time. You spoke on your kind of your background from Pensacola, Florida, but can we get a little bit more context on your background, your upbringing, and when did you start fighting?
Oof. So I was actually born and raised in Michigan. Lived there for 21 years, and then I ended up moving to Pensacola. A couple of years in, I decided to try jiu-jitsu out. I worked. Most people will know where McGuire's is, and I kept driving past the jiu-jitsu gym over there. And I was like, man, I want to try that. So I think that was 5 years ago now. I stopped by Kazushi Club Pensacola. I trained there for 2 years doing jiu-jitsu, and then ended up going out to their Gulf Shores location and meeting their striding coach, Scott Thomas. And he just asked me, like, you think you might want to do MMA? I was like, that kind of sounds pretty cool. So he's kind of showing me some MMA stuff. And I ended up going to Mobile to train at some gyms and just kept going from there, just working on my striking to mix in with my grappling.
So up until the point of when you meeting the man, you didn't have any, I guess, combat or contact background before that? That was your first time having any interest in the sport?
For jiu-jitsu, I didn't even know jiu-jitsu existed. So in high school, I tried to wrestle. When I say that, I mean tried. I tried my hardest, but I joined as a junior. My brother had me join the team, and he kind of just beat me up for like 2 years straight. So I didn't really it was a great sport, great team. I had a great time, but I used it for conditioning I was on a rowing team. So I just kind of like showed up, got my butt kicked, worked out, and then I went into rowing.
For sure, for sure. Well, wrestling, discipline and skill required in all, but wrestling is another level than full out MMA, where you're actually getting striked, submitted, slammed. What does your family say about all this?
Well, it really depends. So my mom loves it. She's all about it. She goes to my fights. She's always cheering me on. She's like, beat her up. My dad, he supports me and he cheers me on, but it definitely scares him a lot. And then my grandma is actually the most scared. My Nana, she like even saw my poster. If you can't tell, she was a little bit bigger than me. So my Nana was like, how are you guys in the same weight class? How are you fighting this girl? And I was like, Nana, we met in middleweight classes. It's okay. Like, I'll be all right. I train pretty hard and I train with some good people. But the rest of them support it. Like, my siblings support it, all of that. They do. My family does a lot to help me live the like athlete lifestyle.
And without giving full context, do you want to just give a couple examples for details on that?
Oh, so I have 2 dogs, 2 puppies. They're boys. They are a handful, but my Nana and my mom, and sometimes like my sister, will watch them if I like train to travel or the days I got to compete. You know, my family, again, being supportive, like showing up to it. They're always like, my dad doesn't go on the internet much, but he goes on Instagram and just makes sure he likes all my stuff. Like, he's not someone who goes on Instagram much, but he's like, I'm going to like all of your stuff. So, you know, it's on your Instagram. I'm like, that's so sweet. Him and my grandpa drove out from Michigan to my fight. Like, they drove there just to watch it. But yeah, I mean, then just making sure that I can train as much as possible and go where I need to. Like, I went out to Fusion Excel for 3 weeks, and they watched my dogs the whole time. Made sure I didn't have to board them or anything like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. On your end, how fluid is the picture, the quality that you're seeing?
Yours freezes a little bit. Mine looks fine, but your side freezes a little bit.
Okay, because it's the same on my end, and more than likely when we render it, it's gonna see that my side is smooth. But yeah, I hear you fine, but it's a little laggy as far as the picture quality. As far as just a podcast and an interview, it's still going great. But yeah, it's a little. Is there a way we can improve it, or if that's what we have to work with, that's fine?
I'm not tech savvy. I'm right next to the router. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not. I'm right next to the router, so I'm not sure what I can do. You can instruct me, and I'll play with some stuff, but I would really need someone here to help.
No, I'd rather us not mess it all up. So yeah, I'm good if you're here. What's your record at the moment?
3-1. So 3 wins, 1 loss. I was 2-1 going into this, and I hadn't fought in over a year and a half. I think it was like June 2024, I believe. So I hadn't fought in 2025 at all. And it was nice coming and getting a win against a 4-0 girl.
Okay. Well, can we actually recap your last fight, Island Fights 95? What was the preparation like? If you want to give some respect and some acknowledgement to your opponent, if you want to rate their performance, and what was it like overall getting that overwhelming victory?
Yeah, so leading up, the preparation was all bigger opponents, mostly just because I knew that she'd be one of my teammates actually fought her last, and she took like, that teammate's bigger than me, and she said, that girl's bigger than me, get ready. And I said, okay. So I went out to Fusion Excel for 3 weeks and worked with all the ladies there that I could, and a lot of the other teammates and coaches, and they were super helpful, trying to like imitate her style and helping me work on, like, you can't see it in the fight because obviously I didn't do any striking, but I worked really hard on like trying to get inside her range and working from there. And then when I came back going over to Mazu, they made sure to do the same thing, get me with taller opponents and trying to like defend and work in, and then at AMP as well. obviously just working on jujitsu. I stopped by a bunch of other gyms like Graham MMA, Hunter MMA. I did a couple drop-ins at Witness and Freedom and Kazushi Club. Lots of teams around here really like helped me working towards it. During the fight, yeah, I mean, she's a great athlete. She's 4-0. She plays the part really well. Like, she's an athlete. She comes in, she did the work, she showed up. Super happy. She made weight too, because she, to my knowledge, was cutting weight to make 45. So to cut weight and meet me at 35 when I was going to do 25, but she was the fight available, and I was like, I want that fight for sure. Yeah, I mean, she did really well. First round gave me a lot more trouble, obviously. Nerves play a lot into that for both of us, and I think the second round we were able to both just kind of like get into it and go to it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do have I'm going to be fair as far as the questions that I have, just because I respect you as an MMA fighter above all. But I've never asked a woman what's her walk around weight.
No, that's fine. So believe it or not, I was actually 138 when they offered me the fight, and my max weight was 137. So I was like, oof. I was like, this girl is going to be a lot bigger than me because she was cutting to make like 45 and 40. So I put on a little bit more, but I mean, walking around at like 42, 45. I did just take a vacation, so I haven't looked at it. But once I get back to training, it shouldn't be too much. And then even for my next fight, we'll be at 25. I'm going to lower it a lot more than that to make sure it's like an easy cut and I'm not too drained.
Great segue. What's your primary or usual strategy when it comes to cutting? And second part to that, what's been your worst cut?
I haven't had too many like bad cuts. Really, I tend to go against people that are usually bigger than me. So I do like water loads, and sometimes I'll like wait. I woke up on weight this time. I just do a water loads, the like multiple gallons for multiple days and then wean it off. And then you do the 24 hours of like fasting, no water, no food. And then I usually just wake up on weight, or I have to sweat a little bit in the morning, but it hasn't been too crazy because even when I grapple, I do like I've grappled. Most girls are like over 200 pounds for some of my weight classes. And then a lot of times they just meet me at 45. And I think most I've gone to is 35, but again, it's just a little water load.
With you primarily fighting bigger girls, is that you giving yourself more of a challenge? Do you feel like that's where your talent is, or does that come from you beating up or fighting guys in your background?
A lot of it is availability. There's not as many females that like train and then compete and then want to go to your location. So it is a little bit tougher to find, as well as like the lack of competitors. The weight classes usually cut off super low. So if I was walking around at 140, 142 and the weight class cuts off at 35 and it's a day of weigh-in, I'm going to the above, which is up to 999 pounds. Or it's just like this fight specifically. I said 25, all they had available was her at 35. And I said, that's fine. Like, she's cutting more weight than me. I can meet her a little bit in the middle. But training with guys does help a lot, making sure most of my training partners are bigger than me. That's why I travel to try to find like female training partners, is they're all closer to my size. Or even I trained with girls up at Fusion that were bigger or taller than me to prepare for this fight.
With the lack of, I'm not saying lack of talent, but of course the talent by ratio isn't as vast as the men are. Does it ever get discouraging as far as progressing or staying on a certain trajectory in the sport? I don't know if you're not able to showcase as much, but like you just said, it's not a lot of quote unquote fair fights going around. You got to pretty much take what you can as far as availability at this stage. Does it ever get discouraging?
Yeah, I mean, before this fight, so the lull in my fights for over a year, like no one would take a fight with me, even trying to travel and stuff like that. I was only able to so I had one card booked 2 fights on the card for me, but both fell through. And then I had one more finally book a fight, and this girl was like ready to go. And then I had some life stuff go on that I was moving around and whatnot, and I had to pull out from that one. So even months later, having a hard time finding a fight after that, it is discouraging to like go so long, especially even like with grappling. You know, sometimes you get super fights. Sometimes I've driven from Pensacola to Tampa for one match before and driven back, you know, so it's been tough trying to find those kind of matches as well. But I mean, I just try to compete as much as possible.
Of course, we spoke on the scarcity of opponents, for lack of other words. But on top of that, of course, we mentioned life things happens. We all have life. But do you find a lot of fake tough girls, females that duck fights? Do you come across that people avoid you personally, or is it not as prominent as men?
Yeah, so I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. So a lot of girls will see that and just not take the fight. They immediately say no. They're just like, no, I'm not going to fight a grappler. Like, especially a lot of the girls are strikers, which is wild because they'll have like years of striking experience on me. Or like some of them will even be like, they've offered me to upper belts and all this stuff. And all these girls just say like, nah, she's a purple belt. Oh, she did this competition. There's no way, or anything like that. And I mean, I get it. Like, you know, I think they offered me one time a girl that was like 6'2" and a boxer. And I was like, probably a bad fight for me. I don't know how I'm supposed to fight someone who's that tall and really good on their feet. And like, it's going to be really tough for me to try to like work my way in, and be able to grapple, because I personally, like, I want to strike. I've been working a lot on my striking, but at the end of the day, like, if things are going wrong, I'm going to fall back on my grappling.
Of course, I have a list of subjects, a list of topics. But as we engage, not necessarily digressions, but new topics, they appear in my mind. But even in that, I'm a little reluctant because I want to filter myself just for the fact that you're a female. And in this day and age,
you don't have to. I'm around guys all the time.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. I was about to say, in this day and age, that shit even matter no more. Am I out of touch be even thinking like that? But I don't want to sound insensitive with this question. Do you? Well, it's kind of a no-brainer. As men, I couldn't imagine having to perform on any level, sport, let alone fight, while I'm on my period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can we, not necessarily in fighting, but just what women don't get respect for, just in sports and having to perform at that high level, like I can't explain the fucking period, but all I'm gonna say is, yeah, I can't imagine having to still do this while I'm going through that. And just speaking for women, just in sports in general, like I don't even know how to truly formulate that question, because it's my first time like speaking to a woman about this, but I always wanted to speak to a woman about this. Like what's it like still having to do this while you're going through that?
It's terrible sometimes. So this was like my first fight that I wasn't actually on my cycle during the fight. Yeah, I compete and I fight all the time. It's rough because there's if you've seen all the reels online about like the different cycles and everything, guys don't get it. So there are some days where like everything just hurts way more than it's supposed to. Everything's super sensitive. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm getting crushed right now. I'm extra fatigued.
Oh, then you're getting hit in the stomach and shit. Yeah.
Everything hurts more than it's supposed to. And I'm trying not to be a baby because all these guys are like, oh, you're a fighter. Oh, you want to train with the guys. And I'm like, yep, I'm gonna do it. Or you're super fatigued and your muscles like don't want to work. So you're just getting taken down and just absolutely murdered. And you're like, well, that's great. I really wanted to add that to my emotions today. Now I'm going to leave really sad. So there's those aspects of it. That's the only thing that's also too, like with any weight cuts I have had, your weight will start to spike up. And that's like the only thing I'm like, oh, that's going to be trouble. But that's where, you know, for me, I've lucked out. Like it has made it a little bit harder. And when you're trying to bring your weight down before your weight cuts and stuff like that, you're just eating less and cutting your calories and extra carbs and all that stuff, it doesn't always help.
Yeah, I didn't even think how it affects the weight cut. I was more so just thinking about just the pain and the performance. Like it affects the cut too. Like shit.
Yeah, you're training during or like so it definitely sometimes you'll just get, well, for girls, your confidence level because you're just upset or something's not going right or you're getting beat up and everything hurts or you're just like, man, I'm trying not to tell these guys, but I feel like, just laying on the floor right now. It's terrible, but we're about to run sprints or we're doing get up drills or anything like that. And you're like, this day is going to suck. Like the next couple days are going to suck. And you just kind of, unfortunately, you just kind of have to push through it.
Yeah, I was going to say, in your opinion, do you think that should be a hindrance or do you think that there should be more understanding and patience when it comes to that because no one else in this building or gym can feel what you feel?
To be honest, sometimes you're going to fight during that time. So no, I don't really feel like you just have to do the work because if your cycle lines up on the fight, they're not going to take it easy on you. So you got to show up and do the work. If you just like take the time off or say, hey, will you go easy on me today? Like there's been some days, I've been working with my training partner. Well, Cam was working with me and he could tell like it was one of those days and he was going to like ease up. And I was like, nope. He's like, if it happens during your fight, sucks to suck. Like you got to be prepared for any of that. There's so many things that could go wrong for a fight. You could be injured and something hurts. That doesn't really matter. You got to keep fighting.
I feel that. Yeah, I wanted to get that off. But just in general, what do you say to the people that in general projects the narrative that women are supposed to be soft? You aren't supposed to be fighters. You aren't supposed to be in this lane. Like what do you have to say to that population?
That they're soft and they just want women to be less to make them feel better. I'm pretty biased on that. I think like if a guy wants you to be softer or more gentle or more girly, they're probably super insecure. And I don't mean to be rude or start some huge controversy. It's just to me as like a more masculine female, like I fight, I like all these kind of things. I like MMA. I like watching the fights. I don't mind doing all that kind of stuff. Obviously I'm going to favor, the opinion that favors it, but I don't know, been around guys that are sensitive about it and those guys tend to be incredibly insecure people, and then the people that aren't at all, those are the more like masculine guys that they don't care. They're like, I can beat you up, I don't care how tough you think you are. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the guys that be like, can you soften up? The ones that feel like you can beat their ass. Okay, like you're scared.
Yeah, or the guys that are like, you're so strong, oh you're just really strong, and I'm like, or I've been doing jiu-jitsu for years, like, or just did the move right and you don't know what you're doing, but that's okay.
Nah, I can feel that. I can feel that. Well, nah, we answered that. But definitely, I feel you. I feel you. It's a certain balance and certain spectrum, I guess, depending on whom I'm speaking with. Would I want my woman to be an MMA fighter? I wouldn't care for it. Would I want her to know how to fight? Hell yeah. But you know what I'm saying? But nah, I definitely understand. But I respect it because in history, in Africa and different castles and colonies and everything, whatever you want to call it. But there were female warriors, man. People have seen the Woman King. Like there were armies full of female warriors that were taking down villages and other armies of men. So yeah, don't sleep on these women for sure.
My boyfriend hates it. He's like, you don't need to fight. Let's stick to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like you're beautiful. I don't want to see you lumped up. Nah,
yeah, they tell me that don't get hit in the face. Don't mess up your face. I'm like, I'm gonna try not to get hit in the face. Thank you for that advice. That's great. I hope I don't.
No, not the face. Can you shout out your team, man? Shout out your team as a whole. Can you give some contextual details to your coach, a message to them, if you will, and then to wrap it up, other than yourself, who's a rising star out of your team?
Okay. Ooh. So I actually trained between two teams mainly. Now I went and did a couple weeks at Fusion, so all of them like they were great. They were super helpful. But when I come back home, Mazu, Muay Thai, Cole, and Todd, all the teammates there, everyone's super. Every single one of them, they're helping me train. They were doing what I needed to do, how my opponent was going to act, and making sure I was sharp in the areas that I needed to be. Absolutely amazing coaching, training, pushing me. AMP MMA, Cody was in my corner. He's, that whole team also, they just all push you. They all want to make sure that you're not just ready for the fight that you're doing, but every fight after that. They're like, okay, this girl's going to do this, but you're an amateur fighter. We're working to eventually go pro. Like, we need to still not make these mistakes, or expect her not to make these mistakes. So everyone there, a rising star is definitely Jared Kirk. I saw y'all talk to him. He's crazy good, like way better even that you guys see in the fights. Like, the training room, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. Aside from Cam and Logan, and a ton of people on that team, but for like rising star, not already there as a pro, definitely him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Can you give me your top 5 fighters of all time, men or women?
So honestly, my favorite fighter is Cam Teague. I say that and he thinks I'm joking, but no, I know he thinks I'm joking, but I actually don't. I like watch the fights, but I haven't followed a lot of the fights. I didn't know much about it. Like, I started training MMA and didn't watch the UFC. Don't follow a whole lot of fighters. My biggest thing is, like, it's cool to watch them. I'm like, I don't know them, and then, so I used to make videos for my teammates, like try to make little highlight reels. These guys don't promote themselves at all. They're over here, whether they're amateur or pro, they don't have pictures, they don't have posters, they don't shout out their teammates when they want, because they're not posting anything at all. And so I was like watching them fight, and I started making like little highlight reels. Terrible. They're awful. I go back and watch them and laugh because I'm not a content creator. But he fought the most, so I actually had the most to make for him. So I've watched him fight more than anyone else.
Okay, all right. Well, that's number 1.
Mm-hmm. Trying to list 4 more. I could still go with my teammates like Blake Anthony, Jared, Jasmine Grua. Let's see. Is that 4?
Yeah.
5.
Cam, Blake, Jared. Yeah. Her and
Jazz. Yeah, Jazz, and then let's see, anyone from Alice from Fusion, she's really good, and she helped me a lot with my camp too. But then I got a bunch of those girls I would like to aim to. See, I'm gonna start naming all my little teammates, because they're awesome. They all help me so much, and
shout them out, man.
I really don't watch a lot of like the highest, which is terrible. Like, I'll watch them, but I don't follow their careers as much.
All right, well, Dan. Well, who are some other fighters you would like to give some acknowledgement to?
Hannah Goldie is lights out for Cat, and then like all those girls up at Fusion, all the girls down here, like Griffin helped me she's from Tent Planet, and she was helping me out. Mazu, all the guys from Mazu, honestly, there's a long list of them. I went over there, like Isaac was helping me, and all of them. So anyone who's I've been watching their career.
For sure. How often, well, we may spoke about it a little bit, but let's get deeper. How often do you train, and what is your diet like?
Okay. Oh, and Logan told me, let me add him in there, because I watched him fight a lot too. He's just been out for a minute. So how often do I train? So I just took a vacation. So other than that, I usually train 6 or 7 days. I used to do 2-a-days, but now I do usually just once a day, depending on where I go. If we're sparring, if we're doing other stuff, I might do strength and conditioning. My coach, Chris from Centerline Fitness, he'll like send me my workouts, or I'll go to Hot Works. So it's like not technically training, but I definitely go and stretch in their saunas and try to like
recover.
decompress. My diet, um, my coach has been helping me with my diet. Honestly, I typically just eat like meat and cheese, and then I drink a lot of coffee, way too much coffee. Would not advise anyone to do it, but that's predominantly what I eat and drink.
Just straight black coffee, or you got like a Starbucks?
No.
Like,
Look, I like Starbucks, but that's only on vacation. I just have any coffee I grab from Walmart with like a French vanilla creamer. I'm not too fancy.
if you would go to like a Starbucks or a Seven Brew or some place like that, what's your order?
Oh, it's a caramel latte. That's it. Well, I sub almond milk, but like little iced lattes, all I need. That way, I still like to taste the coffee. I don't mind it being bitter with the espresso, but I need just a little bit of something sweet in there.
Yeah, I'm more of a little treat getter. Give me a frappe. Give me a vanilla bean frappe mixed with caramel syrup. You know what I'm saying? Mix that up with oat milk and the whipped cream on top. You got your butt right.
Yeah, no, all the guys love those. I like it, but I definitely like the espresso in there.
See, it's as far as the taste, it's top tier on the taste, but I can't have too much of those. My kidneys aren't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. What has been? You say you don't follow a lot of the mainstream fights. What's been the best fight that you've seen, or the best performance that you've seen with your own two eyes?
You're gonna think I'm what? It was Cam versus Austin Lingo. I drove all the way. I'm so serious. This is why like he's my favorite. I drove all the way to Texas and watched him fight, and then I drove back because I had a trip coming up. I had to get back. I was going. Me and Jazz were going to Thailand to go train at Bang Tao. So I was like, I'm not missing that fight, you know. And I decided I drove all the way out there, watched him fight, and then I drove back. But it was well worth the drive. Did you watch that one?
I did not. I gotta watch it now.
You should. It was pretty wild. Yeah, pretty crazy. They both got hit a lot.
What type of music do you listen to during training and even before a fight?
So for training, I don't usually get on the aux because I actually like dubstep, and then I like Midwest emo. Yeah. People see, this is why people don't let me play the music though, is because I'll listen to something that's like dubstep or EDM. I love like Midwest emo bands or rock music. I'm all for it. I'm pretty diverse. There's a lot you can put on. Like some people will put on country, and I'm like, that's fine. We can still train to this.
How? No, I was playing. Do you have a favorite entrance song, or what was your last come out song that you choose?
So my walkout song is "Angel of Death" by Paycheck and Stafford Beats. That one just has like it's a slow start, but it's not so slow that you're like, does this song ever start? And then it's a pretty good drop to me, and it really it was one of those songs I just like before my first fight. I was flipping through songs. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna listen to. I don't know what I want to do. And like you sit there and you just try to like imagine the fight, and then you flip the song, and then you're all right. Now imagine walking out. And then you change the next song, and one of them's just going to feel right. And that one felt right, and I just haven't been able to change it. Every single time I try to listen to it, I'm like, does this song still like get me in the right mindset? And every time I'm like, yep, yes, it does.
Hey. What is 3 things you cannot live without? Or what are 3 things you cannot live without?
I'm going to try not to say coffee because that's a little obnoxious. My dogs, my family. I should have said family first. I'm sorry. I was thinking of objects, and I was like, no, let's think about my dogs, my family, and then like training, honestly, whether it's just going to the gym or getting out and doing stuff. I love to travel. I don't like being kind of like stuck in one place. I like to get out and travel a lot too.
Other than the music selection and the envisioning of entering that ring, what does fight mode look like to you? Look like for you? How do you enter fight mode? What does that consist of? And how long does it take you to exit fight mode?
So the exiting is really easy. The second the ref stops us, That's it. It's done for me. You know, some people ask me like, man, why didn't you like celebrate or get really into it or anything? Like my first thought the second I end a fight is I ask my opponent, like, are you okay? Like, we're done now. The fight's over. This is a sport. I'm not here to hurt you. Like, are you all right? And then to get into it, it just really depends. I mean, just imagining the fight, you got to imagine all the things that'll go right and all the things that'll go wrong and how you're going to fix your self if things go wrong. So just sitting there and putting myself in that perspective, but also just like the way that my coaches will work me just like over and over and over, like this is the plan. This is like, if they do this, we make sure, and then do that 100 times to make sure that your reaction is on point.
Being honest and transparent on a scale from 1 to 10, how coachable are you? How well do you stay on the game plan?
It really depends. I mean, and you think coachable, I have a lot of coaches and then I go to a lot of gyms, so people will help me out. It's what I feel like is going to go best in this scenario, but also it really depends on what happens when I get out there. So I fully intended on working my striking with her. I was like, man, like her striking is a little better than mine. She's been doing it longer. She's taller. She's going to have better reach. I was like, oh man, I'm going to see what she does first. And I was perfectly fine until we touched hands, and I swear my like autopilot kicked in. That's all, my nerves were fine until we touched hands, and I think I just threw an overhand and grabbed her. I was like, man, I didn't work on my striking at all. I gave her no shot to do that. But I mean, everyone they kept telling me, they said, you're just going to take her down and sub her. You're just going to take her down and sub her. And I was like, I'm going to strike with her. You know, I'm going to be a striker too. As soon as I touched her hand, I went straight to my grappling. I was like, well, okay. So, and then like during the match, if I'm in a grappling position, I'm pretty coachable. I mean, at least that's what they tell me, because I'm trying to listen to them. It depends on if I feel like it's the right situation or not. You know, I had someone, telling me like, get your double unders and flatten her out, get your double unders and flatten her out. And I went to go get it. I think at one point I did, but I realized I don't ever punch from that exact position. If you see by the highlight, it looks a little awkward. I definitely go from like top half, and I got to her back and flattened her out. And I was like, well, this is different. I was like, it felt really weird trying to punch from there, but I was trying to let it go and then just follow her and stay on the back.
Very, very interesting. A lot of MMA talk. If you know, you know. If you can access a time machine and go back 10 years and give yourself advice or just tell yourself one thing, what would it be?
Obviously, it would be to start training sooner. Like, just fully commit to it and really get into it, because, I mean, I do love this. I'm 29. So for me, starting younger would have been great and really pushed me ahead. But I still enjoy it, and I'm still going to try to do my best in it.
All right. Now, we spoke about your diet during training, but for a couple seconds, let's not think about MMA training. Let's just think about just full on Nina Comfort. What is your favorite food? Or
Mexican.
top 3?
Oh, okay. Well, Mexican's the first. Breakfast food in general is a second, and then I have a huge sweet tooth, like insane. So like ice cream and brownies, I'll eat them all the time.
Okay,
if I could.
As far as Mexican, like, is it more of ordering out, or do you cook it yourself?
Ordering out. I mean, if I have the choice to make, just any kind of meat with taco seasoning and, some pico and guac, like I'll put that on my mom just made me some yesterday. She was like, do you want some? I said, I do. I'm going to eat it every single time. Someone ever asks, like, where do you want to go to eat to hang out? I'm like, you already know. Don't even ask me if you don't want Mexican. Just tell me where we're going.
What are you ordering?
I love chimichangas or like enchiladas, the taco bowls, obviously queso and guac, all the good stuff.
Man, you taking me back, man, because I'm on my little health kick my damn self, so I haven't had any of that in a while. I'm doing food reviews, but like that's the only time I get to splurge. But I haven't veered in anything Mexican, so I definitely miss it. About to make me bust out in tears. Let's get off of me. Back on here. What's in store next? What do we have in store for Miss Smith next?
Are you talking about for like fights and stuff?
Yeah.
So, and sorry, it's a little quiet, but so I'm probably gonna go. I'm trying to fight on Combat Night, out in Orlando. I think that'll be a really good card. I met him down when I was training, and been trying to get on that card too. I have something I got to work through before getting on there. Hopefully, go back to Island Fights. There's a bunch of cards around here like Raging that I'd love to be on, and it's just making sure that my training's where it needs to be and everything.
Okay. I was supposed to, well, I'm not saying supposed to, but I was planning on asking this earlier, but how many Island Fights have you been a part of, and essentially what's it like fighting under that promotion?
So that was my first Island Fights. I had a lot of teammates fight for them all the time, like Jazz, Cam, Blake, Jared. Honestly, I knew most of the people on this, like at least one person from every fight on this card. So I've known a ton of people. They've been around for a really long time. It was pretty awesome. The only thing is I wasn't used to the ring. I got caught up on it a couple of times. I was like, it's fine. It's, I just can't wall wrestle the same or anything like that, but it's not a big deal. Like we'll work out in the open and stuff, but I unintentionally just pushed us straight back to the ropes. And like, I actually put my arms around and I locked my hands around her and one of the ropes. So I was like trying to take us down and I was stuck. I was the one that was making us stuck. So I had to like let go and redo it. And then another time I tried to like use my leg to like sweep one of her legs out, and I stuck my leg right through the ropes and got stuck on that. And then I had to bring it back through the ropes. I was like, ooh, didn't plan on that. I was like, but it's okay. I'm working through it. I still thought it was really cool. Really well ran, very like well structured. The media crew is obviously the best. No disrespect to anyone else, but I mean, I love their team. They did a great job. Daisy and Tyler always have great stuff. And like the just promotion itself was just they super well ran, always keeping me updated on stuff and making sure that I was where I needed to be and what I needed to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I love it. Love it. All right. Well, this has been a great interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. How did you get into all of this stuff?
Well, I've had my platform for a little over 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, short story. It was something I was interested in, and then I was blessed with the platform with a close, a relative of mine, and they passed away and left it to me in their will. So I'm taking the shit to the sky.
That's awesome. I'm really happy for you. I mean, you seem to be doing great with it too.
Yes, man. Yes, man. I appreciate that. What's your last message to any aspiring fighters or people that may have a little bug in the back of their mind and say, man, I kind of want to try it out, but I'm kind of reluctant. What's your message to them?
Just try it. It's not what everyone thinks, especially when they're trying to like get started and go into the gym. Between even like men or women, they're so nervous that they're like, man, I want to try it, but I'm not trying to get knocked out. I'm like, you don't do that when you go into the gym. Like all of our training partners are super nice. You go in there, they teach you a move and then you practice that move. You don't just go in there and, well, you shouldn't just go in there and start hard sparring. If you do that, go to a different gym. But, it's not supposed to be anything scary like that. It's pretty easy to just walk in, give it a try. Like you don't have to, people are like, oh, I want to get in shape before I go in the gym. Just go in. You don't have to be some cardio machine to go learn how to do a drill or to learn how to hit mitts a couple times. Like you'll get there by doing it. And all the guys are great. Like you have every once in a while the stereotypical person, but those people get kicked out of gyms. Everyone else that like goes out here and like is knocking people out or choking them out or anything like that, they're the nicest people you will ever meet.
I believe it. I truly believe it. It kind of dawned back on me before you go. More advice. What's the best way to handle a loss? It can be in a fight or just in life. I like these questions. I like the answers to these questions.
Yeah. Learn from it. And I know people are like, oh, you win or you learn. And that like, it sucks. It sucks to lose. Like you put all that work into something and you didn't get the results you wanted, but it's literally part of the process. Like keep a good attitude don't be rude to the person that beat you. Don't, always be polite, shake their coach's hand. Like it's not their fault that they did. I mean, it is in a way, like that they, were able to beat you at the game, but it's part of it. Keep a good attitude and just learn from it. If you're just like, oh, that sucked, oh well, and then you don't go back and go, well, where did I go wrong? And then you fix that problem, then there was no point. Then you just lost, all around. But if you can fix it, okay, well, now you just fixed a hole in your game for the future.
I can dig that. Last question officially. What lessons has fighting taught you about yourself?
Consistency and confidence are key. I wasn't confident even going into jiu-jitsu. I was very unconfident that I could make these technique work and learn these different things, or I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to remember these things. Well, just be consistent, and like, it's a muscle memory. You got to do stuff over and over and over, and that might seem boring, but then you don't have to think about it. But also, like, some of it is like confidence. You don't be a jerk and think like, oh, I'm going to beat everyone in the world and I'm the best. Like, especially not for me. I'm an amateur fighter. I don't think that at all. But, go in there with like, hey, I've put the work in, I've done the training, I've done what I needed to do. Now we're going to see if that works. And if not, I'm going to fix it later.
Well, hey, I appreciate everyone that stayed through this long into the interview. It definitely has been a great one. And I appreciate you for joining. Give your final shout outs on the way out, please.
Thank you. Yeah. Cam Teague helping me with this camp, obviously. Mazu Muay Thai, Amp MMA, like Hunter MMA, Graham MMA, Fusion XL, all the gyms that I stopped in, the jiu-jitsu gyms even, like trying to help me out and make me get ready. My sponsor, Centerline Fitness, and then my family and all the friends that were supporting me and helping me get through it.
All right. I appreciate you once again. The place to sit, the time is now. We are signing out. Nina Smith. Boom!